Welcome back everyone, and welcome to week 5 of our Defender camper build. And this morning I have some very exciting news for you because we finally have wheels!
We have some wheels, 3 weeks and we finally got them. So we've got all the wheels powder coated, all 5 of them, and then we've got some brand spanking tyres as well. So we've gone for the Toyo Open Countries, and it's a real technical reason we've gone for these. We found them cheap on Marketplace because somebody ordered the wrong size. So we got all 5 for 500 quid. So I know they might be noisy and there'll be loads of people saying you shouldn't get them, but we're going to give them a go and see what they're like anyway.
Yeah, might be a good idea, might be a terrible idea.
Yeah, so
who knows?
I'm going to fit them now.
And while John's getting on with fitting those, I've got a couple of jobs on. So I've got my drawer fronts on the go, so I need to finish sanding and painting those. And in between coats, I'm going to get on with the upholstery for the cushions.
Something about the pop when it pops on the bead that I like. It's a strange thing, really. You ready? Well, they're on and they're looking mean. Look at them little beauties. They've come out a treat, they have. And if they're noisy, I'll just turn the radio up, so don't worry about it. But one thing I'm a bit conflicted on is tyre pressures. I've had a look on the net and there's so much different information on what to run. So any Land Rover tyre pressure specialists out there, hit me up in the comments of what pressures you run anyway. So, but when we put the wheels up, I've got the gas bottle carrier and we got the Highlift jack mount as well. So I'm going to get them on next. So one thing I didn't show you when I was making this Highlift jack carrier, which if you want to see how I made it, I think it was in episode 2 anyway, but I've got this little bit of like plastic or nylon or something like that, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to rivet it to the bottom in there, so when I slide the jack in, it's not rattling about and it's not like metal on metal, so it protects it a little bit. And then also I made this little bar here, so I just ground down some flats on some Allen key bolts, and then that sits in there like that, so it's fixed in, and then when it slides in it hits the stop there so you know how far to go, and then when I wind these bolts down it then locks the jack in because it's putting pressure on that again rather than the actual jack, so it's just a better way of doing it really. More jobs off the list. So the old gas bottle's on. I know they're discontinuing them, so I might have to get a flow gas one or something like that. Hopefully it'll fit. So that's all good. And then I've got a bag on. I'm not too sure about it, to be honest. Like, it's not the best quality, so I don't know if I would recommend it, but it's 47 quid from Amazon, whereas the Trasharoo bags are 100 quid. And to be honest, all we're going to chuck in it is rubbish anyway. So it goes pretty big. So yeah, I'm 50-50 with that. I'm on the fence, so we'll see how it goes. And then I got the Highlift jack on, and like, I can't believe how secure that is. Like, I knew it'd be good, obviously, but that is brilliant, that is. And like I said before, the fact that we've got a step to get in the back as well is brilliant. So well happy with that. So next job, I want to do some bits inside. So I want to get the worktops on, and then I can get the fridge in, and then we can start working out exact sizes for the drawer front. So that's the worktop that we're using. Like I say, that's what it looked like before, and now we've Danished it all up. It comes up quite nice just to protect it that little bit. So we'll get them in and then we can get the fridge in. So the worktops are in, but before I put the sink in, I just want to show you the finished setup for the 12 volt water system anyway. So I've got a filter outside before the pump. I've put it outside so it's easy to clean and I can clean it more often. And it comes into the pump, through, and then over to this filter that Jess was going on about the other day, the 1,000,000 micron filter, whatever it is, through the flow switch into the UV light, and then it tees off. One goes to the tap and then one comes to the outside 1/4-inch shower point that we showed you the other day. And then also I've run the wires along, so we've got the switch to turn on the pump and the UV light as well. So we've gone for a normal kitchen tap because I just think there's so much better quality than the caravan ones. Caravan ones are always a bit naff. And then same with the sink, we've gone for quite a decent sized sink because Jess quite often washes her hair and her face and all that in the sink, and well, you know me, I don't wash anyway, so it don't really bother me, but it keeps her happy anyway. So the sink's in, the fridge is in, and the bane of my life is in as well.
The love of his life
She's
is in.
only made an appearance because she's in a fridge, and normally that includes food.
That is a fair play. I do love a fridge.
But she's done nothing all day today.
That is not true.
I caught her sleeping twice. I recorded it and she deleted the footage.
Why are you lying? Why are you just making it up?
I'm going to have to try and get some stealth footage for you so we can show you.
So full of dribble. Right, are you going to let me show the people the fridge, or are you just going to keep jibber-jabbering on all day?
You show them the fridge, see if you can stay awake long enough to do it.
Right, here's the fridge. So, 65 litre upright fridge. And the reason we've gone for an upright fridge is because with the chest fridges, which we know have their benefits for overlanding, but you also have to be able to open the lid, which means that you lose storage space. So with this one, like I'm sat on the bench seat and I can open it, you can see inside, it's quite a nice size, and get to access to everything, even if the roof was down. So that's our main reason for going upright, really, because we're all about trying to maximise our storage. And on that point, there's just down here, you can see John's put in a bit of angle trim. And the reason for that is, instead of putting doors on the front, I'm going to put boxes in. Because I love boxes for storing things in. Just makes it easier to get stuff. You haven't got to kind of take things out to get to the back as well. And it means I can have a box that slides up in here beside the toilet to put storage things in. And all I have to do to get it out is just take this one out. So we're maximising the storage there. Shall I make us some dinner then, love, seeing as I do nothing? What's that face for?
See you tomorrow.
Before I do actually go in and make our dinner, there's someone that I realised we haven't introduced you to. And I think you guys might all like to meet him. Everyone, this is Brian. Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian. This, oh, no. This is Brian. Good morning, everyone. We had a lovely night last night. We had a cheeky little Chinese, so I didn't even end up cooking, but it was great. Today we are getting on with, I'm doing the upholstery and John is fitting the tanks, so all the water tanks. So hopefully by the end of the day we'll have functioning water and comfy cushions. Although I have taught myself to sew, so maybe next day it'll be upholstery. But yeah, so yeah, you ready for a good day, boy?
Let's get on it.
Let's do this.
Morning everyone. So like I say, my job today is the wastewater tank and the freshwater tank. Now I got the wastewater tank in last night and I drilled the holes and I got the fittings in. But I just use these fittings, 28mm caravan fittings with an inch thread on them. And the reason I like using them is because they're a big enough bore to let the water out real quickly, but also if you've got any food or anything like that in your tank, it gets rid of it and it doesn't block the pipe or the valve or anything like that. And then the valve, I go with these. These are brilliant. I've used these a few times. They're from a company called US Solid. Got it from Amazon, 40 quid. And you might think it's a bit extreme using an electronic waste valve, but once you've used one of these, you'll never go back to a manual one. So, but these are really good because they're waterproof electronic box on them. And also, once you've energized the valve to open or closed, it drops the power, so it doesn't use any more energy. So it's really, really good system. And then the freshwater tank, I've just got to change the outlet position because that's not in the right place. And then I can get that on and then test all the water system. So the water tanks are in, and let me show you how I got on. So we've got obviously the filler neck there that comes in, and that's how we're going to fill the tank up. Then the water pump filter is here, so I've put it outside so I can clean it out more often, and if it was inside I'd make a bit more of a mess, so it's just better out here. And then I'm just going to make a little L-plate bracket that goes over here that just protects it a little bit. And then underneath, so we've got the main freshwater tank in. Now I just used 15mm JG speed fit fittings outside because the plastic pipe's a lot more heavy duty than the blue stuff. And yeah, I just like it better, it's cheaper and easier to fit and everything like that. So this is going to be my drain valve, and then I can just push it up like that to put it out the way. And then the waste tank's all in, and the electronic waste valve's all set up on a bracket. So I've put all the wiring in, I just need to get a double polarity rocker switch, and then I can finish her off. So it's another job off the list. So I've just fitted the cargo net for what we're going to use for storage. So we were saying last week what we're going to do, because obviously the body curves in there, when the cushion's on the back there, it's just wasted space. So we just got these, we can chuck our socks, pants and things like that all along there. Nice bit of storage. And then the next job we're going to get on with is drawer fronts. Now let me show you the drawer fronts. So for the drawer fronts, all we've done is we've grooved it out again to give it a tongue and groove look. And then for the fixings, we're going to go with these. I've used these loads of times, I really like them. Just a nice simple locking mechanism, and when you push them they go flush with the door, so I really like them. But the only thing is they only fit doors from 15 to 22mm or something like that. So all I do is make a few shims up out of some 6mm board, and then I just space the back off 6mm, so then when you press them in they sit flush. And when it comes to fitting them, it's a bit of a nightmare because you've got to get them in the right position. So all I've done is I've made a little jig up. So it's just a bit of board with a smaller piece on the back. And then once you've got your first one lined up and marked, you can just use this jig for every door. Just go and put it on. Just get your drill bit and then drill through that hole, so you know everyone's going to be right. And then to install them, all I do is you get this shim pack from Screwfix. Loads of different size shims, they come in handy for all sorts of stuff. And what I do is I put the door in and I put shims in it. So I've gone off 2mm from the sides, 2mm from the bottom, and then you can plane your edges to get it all square. And then when you fit in as well, I just pre-drill a hole and screw into the front. So again, then you know it's all square, and then I get some fixing it in from the back and then just fill that afterwards. So like this door here, so I'm going to put that in, I'll shim it on the bottom, shim it on the sides, and then screw it in, and yeah, should be all good. I've just gone to fit another drawer front, and it doesn't quite fit. It's got a big gap one side and then it's flush the other, so I've got to plane it down a little bit. And if you're anything like me, the sight of one of these scares the bejesus out of you, and trying to use one is even worse. So this is just for show, it might as well go in the bin. But I've tried 240 volt planes as well, absolute nightmare, they're animals. But what I found is 18 volt electric planers, brilliant. And Bosch now do a 12 volt one as well, a real small one, and I think that would be even better than this actually, but I can't really justify getting two. But yeah, so if you need to do planing work and you've tried it and it's not for you, try an 18 volt or a 12 volt one and I think you'll be alright.
I'm by no means a professional upholsterer, but I think they've come up pretty nice. Might tighten some of the seams, but it's pretty comfy too. And John's got the old doors on, and he's done the other ones as well. They're not looking too pretty at the moment because they need their final bit of fill-in and their final coat, but I think they're going to look swish when they're done. And we realised we haven't shown you the worktops. Check out these little beauties. Comes up so nicely, that wood, and it's so lightweight, like John said. It's absolutely brilliant. So, absolutely buzzing with how she's starting to look, but we're probably going to call it a day for today. And you may or may not see us tomorrow, because tomorrow we're finally off to get our roof rack. Woohoo! Because we have wheels. So if there's something cool to show you, we'll see you tomorrow. If not, then you'll see us the day after with a cool roof rack and hopefully with these doors filled and painted.
We've got a roof rack. Look at her, she's a beauty. So we went to Gainsbury yesterday to Flat Dog UK and got it fitted, and we was in and out in 10 minutes. And it's a UK, we're not sponsored or anything like that, we pay for it, but yeah, UK based company, all made in-house, really friendly, and they've got a showroom there as well. So yeah, like I recommend them anyway. Really good little roof rack. And one thing I wanted to show you is one thing I like what they do is, so the roof rack's all aluminium, look, but you see where the slot is in the roof rack. Normally what most companies use is like a T-bolt system, like the unwind rails have got on the side, they're like that, but these are normally £10 per bolt, whereas these you just use a normal 8mm bolt. So just fit it in and then it's all secure like that, whereas you could probably pick up 50 bolts of these for a tenner. So I've ordered some boxes for them, 3 storage boxes down the side, but one thing I've got to do is I've got to make a rack for the roof rack. So that's today's job. So I've got 2 solar panels to fit up there. I've got the surfboards, the max tracks and the gas bottle. So let's get on it. I normally like doing everything in flip-flop, but a few years ago I was doing a bit of welding in the workshop in my flip-flop, as you do, and a bit of weld dropped down and it went in between my big toe and my next toe, and it pretty much like welded my toes together. So ever since then in the workshop, Jess has banned me from wearing flip-flops. Well, that went better than I thought anyway. So they're on. So I've got 350 watts of solar up there, 175 watts of panel each. And then the surfboards, they just slide in from the back, and then on the back there I'm just going to have like a little flap, a bit of metal lock that goes on there. And then at the front I'm just going to weld a plate across the front so then the boards can't come out the front. And then as you saw when I was making them, I just welded a bolt to the frame, and then you put the max tracks on and then a little plate goes over it and some quick spin nuts on the outside. So yeah, really happy with how it's coming out. The actual frame is only made with 25 by 25 by 3mm angle, so it's really light as well. I'll weigh it and let you know how much it weighs, but yeah, really impressed. So I've just got to get that off, get it rubbed down and then get it powder coated. Jess! Oh, slacker.
Follow me, what?
I'm going to introduce you to the people, because they've probably forgotten who you are.
You mean while I've been slaving away, bleaching the shower after your dirty ass and all of that? Hello everybody. I have not been here this morning because I have been cleaning our home that this one makes filthy.
Are you going to tell the people about the devastation from last night?
Devastation?
Jess finished The Witcher. So she finished watching her series. So it's always a bad one when you finish watching a series, isn't it?
What are you trying to say? What are you getting at?
I'm just getting at that you finished your series. It's always bad, like, we've got to find a new series, haven't we?
I feel like he's trying to make out like I just sit around and watch TV all day.
And if you've ever seen The Witcher, Jess thinks I look like Henry Cavill as well, don't you, Jess?
Yes, darling. Just like him.
I caught her yesterday looking at some white wigs for me to wear. Called me Henry last night as well, wouldn't you? Telling me to go...
Gerald. It would be Gerald, you plonker.
Telling me to go get my sword.
I apologise for this diabolical comedy and content.
Get back to work.
I was working when you called me away. Morning. Sun's out. Guns out. check out this sexy little beastie. The last one was a la beauty bus. Well, this is a la luxury Landy. How gorgeous is it looking? I'm so happy. So I took the roof rack to the powder coaters this morning, and John's put the doors on, and I think they're pretty bloody swish. Absolutely buzzing with how good it's looking.
What else have I been doing, Jess?
What else have you been doing?
I've been seducing you, haven't I?
Oh, he has been seducing me. Shall we take the people back?
Let's take them back. Ready for this? Here, Jess. I'm ready for you, Gwyneth.
Oh, Gerald!
Is this the sword you was after? Where's all them monsters? That's a real man at work there, isn't it, Jessica?
Treat for you there, ladies. Sorry, lads. Anyway, if you want some real seduction, let me give you another angle of these here drawer fronts. So, goes nice and smoothly all the way along, and these buttons, these are Swish Pro finish. These are. Look at that. Ooh, very nice. Anyway, I think we can leave it there, aren't we, love?
Yeah, well, like Jessica was saying, we took the bits down to the powder coats today, the jerry can holder, the roof rack, gas bottle carrier and all that bits. So hopefully we'll get them back this week. He said he's going to turn them around a bit quicker than the wheels, so fingers crossed. But yeah, then I can get the solar on. We didn't test the water, so we need to do that. Make these boxes just all finishing bits really. So yeah, hopefully next week will be the last week of build anyway.
Happy days.
Yeah, see you next week.